After everything, I thought I'd feel the ending more completely. I thought the final chapter would announce itself more neatly, with the clear before and after, with the line across the calendar. But recovery is less dramatic and far more particular than the stories tell you. Less a single transformative moment, more a series of small mornings, more a slow and quiet atonement, with the version of yourself that lived through the preceding, the quiet accumulation of the ordinary healing. After everything, the light still comes through the window. After everything, the music finds me somehow. After everything, the world keeps on its axis. After everything, I'm more than just the past tense. After everything, I'm still the one who loves the evening. After everything, my chest still does that thing that breathing deeper when a melody arrives at the right moment. After everything, I'm still the one who finds the component parts of joy in small and ordinary places. After everything, I still look up at unfamiliar faces and feel the possibility of everything still open. After everything, I'm still not done, still not broken into something I don't recognize as mine. The therapist said grief is not a tunnel with a light. She said it's more like weather, more like learning day and night, to dress appropriately for whatever comes that morning. She said the after everything arrives without a warning. It doesn't feel like crossing to a sunlit other side. It feels like one day noticing the weight of somewhat died down to something manageable, something you can carry without it being the only thing, without it being necessary to mention in every room you enter. After everything, the light still comes through the window. After everything, the music finds me somehow. Everything, the world keeps on its axis. After everything, I'm more than just the past tense. After everything, I'm still the one who loves the evening. After everything, my chest still does that thing that breathing deeper when a melody arrives at the right moment. After everything, I'm still the one who finds the component parts of joy in small and ordinary places. After everything, I still look up at unfamiliar faces and feel the possibility of everything still open. After everything, I'm still not done, still not broken into something I don't recognize as mine. Someone told me that the people who come through the hardest seasons always have the most to give, and I used to find that patronizing from this side of it. I think I understand the particular generosity of someone who has held the difficult and kept their own humanity. After everything, they try to reduce you to the smallest version. After everything, you held the line, and that deserves a certain kind of assertion, that you made it, that you're here, that the melody still finds you, that the morning still arrives, that the music still reminds you of who you were before and who you're still becoming. After everything, I'm still the one who loves the evening. After everything, my here after everything still clear. Home is not the building, and I learned that slowly through the various addresses in the holy different rooms I carried myself into over the years. The furniture the same in new configurations, the fears the same in new locations. The particular morning light arriving differently through different windows. The slight adjustment of the body to each new acoustic, each new set of neighbors and the music coming through the walls from someone else's evening. Home is a frequency, not a place. Home is the feeling, not the space. Home is the moment when the music finds the particular resonance of your insides. The frequency of home is what I'm looking for. Independent of the address. I found it once in a city I was visiting, in a room above a bar, the music glistening through the ceiling in the body of the building. A frequency of belonging suddenly filling something I had carried empty through the traveling. The specific resonance of home unraveling into the room, through the speakers and the strangers, moving through the same frequency through all the dangers of the unfamiliar and the far from where I'd started. Home is a frequency, not a place. Home is the feeling, not the space. Home is the moment when the music finds the particular resonance of your insides. The frequency of home is what I'm looking for. In every room I enter, in every open door, the specific warmth of being known completely. The frequency of home arriving sweetly in unexpected places, in a melody, in a conversation, in the remedy of being in the right room at the right hour. The frequency of home has its own power, independent of the address. Deepest kind of homesickness is not for a place. It is for the specific frequency of feeling at home in your own face, in your own chest, in the room you're standing in right now. The homesickness that has no address is the one worth learning how to carry toward the places in the music and the people, where the frequency appears, where the ordinary becomes the cathedral of the felt and the belonging. The homesickness resolving into the frequency you carry into every room you're entering. The frequency of home is what I'm looking for. In every room I enter, in every open door, the specific warmth of being known completely. The frequency of home arriving sweetly in unexpected places, in a melody, in a conversation, in the remedy of the address, not the building, not the street, not the room, not the heat of the familiar, but the sound of the frequency of being found. The night keeps the things the day insists on losing, the feelings that the daylight hours keep refusing to acknowledge in the currency of the functional. The night receives them all and finds them sensible. Every version of the fear and the wanting, every 3 in the morning, and it's haunting. Particular arithmetic of what I haven't done. The night keeps every thought the day has run away from, into the noise and the busyness. The night keeps what the day discards. The night keeps all the lowered guards. The night keeps the things worth keeping. The night keeps them safe while we're sleeping. What the night keeps is the truest inventory of the self, of the ongoing and unfinished story of who you are below the managed presentation. What the night keeps doesn't need translation into the acceptable, the appropriate, the fitted version of the life. What the night has permitted is the full and unedited accounting. What the night keeps is the constantly mounting evidence of everything you actually are. I have had conversations with myself at 2 in the morning that I would never have at noon. Conversations dawning in the dark that carry more precision and more honesty than anything the daylight hours modestly allow. Between the getting on and the performing of the daily, the night and its reforming of the question into something I can face. The night in its particular quiet space for the self that doesn't have an audience. The night keeps what the day discards. The night keeps all the lower guards. The night keeps the things worth keeping. The night keeps them safe while we're sleeping. What the night keeps is the truest inventory of the self, of the ongoing and unfinished story of who you are below the managed presentation. What the night keeps doesn't need translation into the acceptable, the appropriate, the fitted version of the life. What the night has permitted is the full and unedited accounting. What the night keeps is the constantly mounting evidence of everything you actually are. Keep the night close, keep the 3 in the morning version. Keep the unguarded self, its honesty and its searching. The night is not the enemy of the functioning and the well. The night is the archive of everything you can't quite tell. The day, the companion who stays when the performance ends. The night and what it keeps is where the self attends to its own deepest frequency, its own most honest knowing. What the night keeps is always worth the showing to yourself in the quiet when no one else is looking. What the night keeps is the truest inventory of the self, of the ongoing and unfinished story of who you are below the managed presentation. What the night keeps doesn't need translation to the acceptable, the appropriate, the fitted version of the life. unformed and becoming and alive. The night keeps how you survive. I used to think that at some point that becoming stopped. That somewhere in the 30s the unfinished version dropped into a final shape that would persist from that point forward. A settled self, a completed self, a self no longer towards something else, no longer partway through the forming. But I am 42 and still the daily morning brings evidence of something still in progress, still adjusting to itself, still in the process of becoming who it's going to be. Still becoming, still unfinished, still arriving, not diminished by the years, made richer by them. Still becoming, moving with them. Still becoming the hour I thought I'd be completed. Still becoming every comfortable assumption defeated by the evidence of growth still happening in the places I thought I'd stopped, in the unexpected faces of the person in the mirror on an ordinary Thursday. Still becoming, finding out the further distance I can travel into my own territory. Still becoming is the whole of the story. I am living and have not yet finished. The 42-year-old who cried at a documentary about migration birds who found the momentary overwhelm of a piece of music she'd heard 100 times, hit differently this autumn for the reasons and the rhymes of a year that had been teaching her in ways she hadn't requested. The 42-year-old who is still interested in who she's gonna be by the next October. Still becoming year on year a little closer to something she can't name but keeps on moving toward. Still becoming, still unfinished, still arriving, not diminished by the years, made richer by them. Still becoming, moving with them. Still becoming at the hour I thought I'd be completed. Still becoming every comfortable assumption defeated by the evidence of growth still happening in the places I thought I'd stopped, in the unexpected faces of the person in the mirror on an ordinary Thursday. Still becoming, finding out the further distance I can travel into my own territory. Still becoming is the whole of the story. I am living and have not yet finished. The relief of it, once you accept it. Still becoming, the relief of releasing the idea of the arriving at the finished version of the life of the self. The relief of still becoming is the greatest gift of health, of the ongoing and the open, of the not yet and the yet. Still becoming is the promise that the best is not done yet, that the person you are growing is the one worth showing up for. Still becoming is the reason. Still becoming is what living's for. Still becoming at the hour I thought I'd be completed. Still becoming every comfortable assumption defeated by the evidence of growth still happening in the places I thought I'd stop, The photographer explained it to me once on a rooftop. The way the lens decides which layer of the world to lock into focus and which layers blur into the background. The foreground sharp and clear, the distance a soft playground of suggestion, of impression, of the almost recognizable. Something about the image is what makes it so desirable. The blurred and the precise existing in one frame together. The thing in focus and the world around it soft as feathers. I think about the things I've held in focus. All the years I gave my full attention's locus to the wrong foreground, the wrong layer, while the thing that mattered blurred into the air. The depth of the feeling changes what you see, in the depth of the wanting changes what you're being drawn toward. In the room, in the music, in the morning, the depth of what we're carrying is always quietly informing every choice, every movement, every door we choose to enter. The depth of field determines what we place at the center of the image that we're making of our time here. The depth of it, the depth of it, the thing that makes it clear. I've been adjusting my attention like a manual lens, deliberately choosing what comes into focus, what defends its claim on my foreground, what deserves the sharpest rendering, what belongs behind me in the beautiful surrendering to the blur, the soft impression, the acknowledged but released. The things that occupied my sharpest years have finally decreased their grip on the foreground, finally softening into distance. Not forgotten, just reposition with some hard-won persistence. I think about the things I've held in focus. All the years I gave my full attention's locus to the wrong foreground, the wrong layer, while the thing that mattered blurred into the air. The depth of the feeling changes what you see, in the depth of the wanting changes what you're being drawn toward. In the room, in the music, in the morning, the depth of what we're carrying is always quietly informing every choice, every movement, every door we choose to enter. The depth of field determines what we place at the center of the image that we're making of our time here. The depth of it, the depth of it, the thing that makes it clear. Someone asked me recently what I'm most afraid of losing now, and I surprised myself completely with the answer and the how. Clearly it arrived in me without the usual hesitation. The thing in sharpest focus is the one without a destination. No fixed point, no arrival, just the journey and the motion. The depth of field around me, like the depth of a dark ocean. explain the specific way the air feels different, or why the hour stretching out ahead seems more significant than the same hour on every ordinary evening. Something in the atmosphere is quietly deceiving my usual defenses into letting go completely. The music from the speakers hitting everything more sweetly than it did last week, than it did this morning. Something in tonight arrived without a warning. Maybe it's the way the light came in. Maybe it's the place I've finally been brought to after all the weeks of carrying. Something about tonight is clarifying. Something about tonight is different from the others. Something in the melody uncovers feelings I had filed away for later. Something about tonight is something greater than the sum of what the week has been delivering. Something in the bass below is shivering through me in a way that makes me pay attention. Something about tonight defies all my intention. To stay guarded, to stay practical, to stay inside. The woman at the bar is laughing at the ceiling. The couple by the window share some private kind of feeling that nobody else is part of, that nobody else requires. The room is full of people following their various desires toward the version of the evening that they came here for. And mine is this, exactly this, nothing less and nothing more. The melody arriving at the moment I most need it. Something about tonight is something I conceded to willingly, something I gave myself permission for. Maybe it's the way the light came in. Maybe it's the place I've finally been brought to after all the weeks of carrying. Something about tonight is clarifying. Something about tonight is different from the others. Something in the melody uncovers feelings I had filed away for later. Something about tonight is something greater than the sum of what the week has been delivering. Something in the bass below is shivering through me in a way that makes me pay attention. Something about tonight defies all my intention. To stay guarded, to stay practical, to stay inside. The nights that matter are never the ones you plan. They arrive sideways through a crack in the ordinary span of a Tuesday or a Thursday of a nothing special week. The nights that matter are the ones you didn't seek, but found you anyway, in a room with the right frequency. The nights that matter find you when you most need to be free. Something about tonight is different from the others. Something in the melody uncovers feelings I had filed away for later. Something about tonight is something greater than the sum of what the week holds its breath when the leaves have not yet fallen and the cold has not yet set its grip on everything. A week of perfect indecision, the world suspended between summer and its revision into something harder, something stripped of all the color. I have always loved that week more than any other particular light of things I know that changing, the beauty of a world mid rearranging, between the warm and the coming cold, between the story and the story told. I find myself the most alive in the space between, the space between the seasons where the light falls golden, between the chapters where the story's still unfolding, between the version I was and the one arriving, between the barely living and the finally thriving. The music finds me in the transition, in the middle of the indecision. Between the seasons is where I have always lived. Between the seasons is everything I have to give. The same in between feeling comes at 5 in the afternoon, when the day is given up and the night is coming soon. A threshold that the body recognizes without thinking, the way the light changes and the shadows start to sinking into something longer, something that belongs to evening. Traffic sound below, developing a different weaving of frequency and distance as the city starts preparing for the version of itself the dark hours will be wearing. Between the warm and the coming cold, between the story and the story told, I find myself the most alive in the space between, the space between the seasons where the light falls golden, between the chapters where the story's still unfolding, between the version I was and the one arriving, between the barely living and the finally thriving. The music finds me in the transition, in the middle of the indecision. Between the seasons is where I have always lived. Between the seasons is everything I have to give. I used to want the certainty of a season fully committed, either fully in the warmth or fully cold and fitted into its own identity. But the in-between has given me a richer kind of seeing, a more complete kind of being, present to the movement, to the shift and the adjustment, to the way that every threshold holds its own kind of wonder. The music of the changing is the most complex arrangement of beauty and of loss and of everything in between the crossing, between the seasons where the light falls golden, between the chapters where the story's still unfolding, between the version I was and the one arriving, between the barely living and the finally thriving. The music finds me in the transition. still warm, nothing yet uncertain. I watched you sleep through half an hour of birdsong, memorizing details I was afraid I'd get wrong. The way your breathing slowed just before waking, the small sounds of a life I've been mistaken for permanent, forgiven for forever. Before the season changed to something colder weather, I should have said it then, I should have held it longer. I let the moment pass, and every silence made it stronger. Before you left, the room was full of something. Before you left, I had everything and nothing to complain about. The world was slow and easy. Before you left, the light came in so breezy, through the window onto everything we'd chosen. Before you left, nothing yet was broken. I had you in the ordinary morning. Before you left, without a single warning. The coffee cup you left beside the kettle, the song you hummed while pulling on your jacket, the way you checked your phone and then looked over your shoulder at me like you'd have forgotten something that you meant to say before leaving, some sentence that got lost inside your breathing. I waited for it all the way to even, but evening came and went without retrieving. I should have said it then, I should have held it longer. I let the moment pass, and every silence made it stronger. Before you left, the room was full of something. Before you left, I had everything and nothing to complain about. The world was slow and easy. Before you left, the light came in so breezy, through the window onto everything we'd chosen. Before you left, nothing yet was broken. I had you in the ordinary morning. Before you left, without a single warning. Now I replay the hour before everything shifted, the particular quality of the light as it drifted across the floor between us, across the ordinary day. I keep returning to it to find what gave it away, what I missed in the breathing, what I missed in the look, what I left unread in that particular book of a morning that was ending without knowing it was ending, of a life that was bending before the bend became the breaking, 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 breaking. Before you left, the room was full of something. Before you left, I had everything and nothing to complain about. The world was slow and easy. Before you left, the light came in so breezy, through the window onto everything we'd chosen. Before you left, nothing yet was broken. I had you in the ordinary morning. Before you left, without a single warning. The curtain moves, the coffee cools, the morning stays, the morning always stays. marks and the reference points, the familiar skies of a life I built so carefully across the years. Now everything I reach for slowly disappears into the version of the future I am moving toward, without a map, without a compass, without a word from anyone who's been here in this particular dark. Just the music and the motion and the low electric spark. Every step takes me somewhere new. Every door I open isn't you, but something worth the opening, something worth the hoping. Further in and the melody keeps building, further in and the feeling keeps on filling every space the old life used to occupy. Further in beneath a different kind of sky, the beat below me steady as a heartbeat, the harmony above me incomplete but beautiful and moving and alive. Further in is how the lost ones learn to thrive. I thought the further in would feel like losing, but something in the distance keeps on choosing to reveal itself in fragments and suggestions, in the answers hiding inside better questions. The music moves the way that change moves slowly, then suddenly all at once, and you're nowhere near the formerly comfortable and certain and familiar. The further in makes everything peculiar in ways that feel like growth feels when it's happening. Not comfortable, not easy, but it's fascinating. Something new into the frame of how I'm living. The further in keeps taking and keeps giving. been holding since the autumn. The tension in the chest, I hadn't thought to call them by name until the physio asked me to breathe deeply. And I couldn't get below the surface cleanly. Something sitting in the ribcage like a held position, like the body had adopted its own superstition. About releasing, about the cost of the exhale, about what might come rushing in if I exhale. The long exhale is overdue. The long exhale is how we move through the things we've been containing out of habit. The long exhale, finally have it. The long exhale after the year of holding. The long exhale and the slow unfolding of the chest that carried more than it was built for. The long exhale and the feeling that it's filled for the first time properly with something clean. The long exhale and the space between the breath that came before and the one arriving. The long exhale is how the held ones keep surviving into the next breath, into the possible. The music does something to the breathing, something in the bass below starts the retrieving of a natural rhythm that the tension had disrupted. The body and the beat gradually reconstructed into their original agreement about the pattern of the in and out, the matter and the antimatter of the living, the held and the released. The music is the mediator and the priest of the long exhale. I didn't know I needed. The long exhale is overdue. The long exhale is how we move through the things we've been containing out of habit. The long exhale, finally have it. The long exhale after the year of holding. The long exhale and the slow unfolding of the chest that carried more than it was built for. The long exhale and the feeling that is filled for the first time properly with something clean. The long exhale and the space between the breath that came before and the one arriving. The long exhale is how the held ones keep surviving into the next breath, into the possible. Breathe out first before the in. The out creates the room for what comes in. The exhale is the act of trusting that the air will be there for the inhale, that the lungs will find it there. The long exhale is faith in the most basic sense, the body's oldest argument against the held and the tense. And the long exhale is always the beginning of the next breath of whatever is coming. The long exhale after the year of holding. The long exhale and the slow unfolding of the chest that carried more than it was built for. The long exhale and the feeling that it's filled for the first time properly with something clean. The long exhale and the space between the breath that came before and the one arriving. The long exhale is how the held ones keep surviving into the next breath, into the possible. Breathe out, let it go. Breathe out, watch it go. Long exhale of everything held. The long exhale, finally well. everything down far enough and something else appears. A frequency below the frequency, beneath the surface. Years of accumulation and distraction, and the constant filling of every quiet moment with another kind of drilling into the attention, pulling focus toward the surface, away from the essential and away from the purpose of being here at all, of being briefly conscious of the low electric hum beneath the daily rockets. Underneath the noise there is a melody. Underneath the rush there is a place to breathe. Underneath the version we perform each day, something more essential finds a way. Underneath the noise is where the music lives. Underneath the noise is where the truth gives itself permission to exist without apology. Underneath the noise is my own private symphony, the melody that runs below the daily obligation, below the surface of the self-performance in the station. We occupy in other people's narratives and stories. Underneath the noise are all the territories of who we actually are. I found it first in a room where the volume was sufficient to drown the inner monologue, the persistent and efficient voice that narrates and critiques and keeps the score. The bass came in below it and the voice existed no more. For 3 hours I was nothing but the movement in the frequency. The music found the thing inside that needed it most urgently. The version underneath the noise, the one without the armor, the one that moved to music in the dark without the clamor of the day around it, the one that knows its own name. Underneath the noise there is a melody. Underneath the rush there is a place to breathe. Underneath the version we perform each day, something more essential finds a way. Underneath the noise is where the music lives. Underneath the noise is where the truth gives itself permission to exist without apology. Underneath the noise is my own private symphony, the melody that runs below the daily obligation, below the surface of the self-performance and the station. We occupy in other people's narratives and stories. Underneath the noise are all the territories of who we actually are. You have to go deep enough for long enough. The distraction finds you at the shallower end. You have to commit to the descent, past the first layer of the relief, past the second layer of the thought, into the third layer where the grief and the joy and the hunger and the thing that woke you at 3 in the morning for the 7th time this week. That's where the melody lives. That's what the music seeks. Underneath the noise is where the music lives. Underneath the noise is where the truth gives itself permission to exist without apology. Underneath the noise is my own private symphony, the melody that runs below the daily obligation, below the surface of the self-performance and the station. We occupy in other people's narratives and stories. Underneath the noise are all the territories of who we actually are. But below the surface, below the day, below the version we put on display, something true, something clear, something that has always been here. I spent so many hours in the wrong kind of waiting, the kind that holds the body still while time keeps accelerating. Around it, all the hours at the edge of the decision, all the hours living in the gap between the vision and the version, between the wanting and the doing. All the hours I could feel the current but kept not pursuing the thing I knew I needed with the whole weight of my knowing. All the hours watching other people going. All the hours I could have spent arriving, all the hours I confused with just surviving. The distance between those two things is everything. All the hours behind me in the trail I can't revisit, all the hours that I spent and all the residue exquisite of the ones that mattered, the ones I showed up fully for. All the hours teaching me what hours are actually for. Not the waiting and the circling and the almost starting, but the living through the discomfort, the departing from the comfortable and the known and the defended. All the hours well spent, and all the ones I'm glad are ended. There is a particular hour that I keep returning to, a Tuesday in November, and I don't know what I knew, but something in me shifted toward the version I've become. Something cracked the code of what I've been so numb to, feeling too attempting to, beginning in the open, without the guarantee, without the safety token of knowing the outcome before agreeing to the process. All the hours that followed found me finally fearless. All the hours I could have spent arriving, all the hours I confused with just surviving. The distance between those two things is everything. All the hours behind me in a trail I can't revisit, all the hours that I spent and all the residue exquisite of the ones that mattered, the ones I showed up fully for. All the hours teaching me what hours are actually for. Not the waiting and the circling and the almost starting, but the living through the discomfort, the departing from the comfortable and the known and the defended. All the hours well spent, and all the ones I'm glad are ended. I don't regret the wasted ones, not anymore. They were the preparation for knowing what I'm here for. Every hour spent circling was mapping out the edge of the thing I finally jumped from, of the beautiful edge of my own potential, my own unlocked door. All the hours leading here, all the hours, nothing more. All the hours behind me in the trail I can't revisit, all the hours that I spent and all the residue exquisite of the ones that matter, the ones I showed up fully for. All the hours teaching me what hours are actually for. Not the waiting and the circling and the almost starting, but the living through the discomfort, the departing from the comfortable and the known and the defended. All the hours well spent, and all the ones I'm glad are ended. The hours pass, the melody stays. The hours teach in their particular ways. Something about time, something about now, something left the window open for the first time since the winter. The room filled up with birdsong and the smell of something similar to the morning we first woke up here together. Two people and a new address in the particular weather of a May that felt like everything was possible and easy. The air came through the curtain, came in warm and breezy, and for a moment I was back inside that morning, before I knew the things about us that came without warning. But the window stays open anyway. The air comes through regardless of the day that followed. The room can hold them both then and now, without the oath of loyalty to either one completely. Open windows in the morning, choosing open windows, nothing left worth losing that I haven't already found a way to carry. Open windows, everything felt necessary, even the hard parts, even the long winter, even the thing that found me like a splinter, working through the surface slowly over months. Open windows are the ones that count, the ones that let both grief and growing in. I've been thinking about the architecture of recovery, the way it doesn't follow any kind of straight discovery. From broken to repaired, from closed to fully open, the windows in between that had to first be broken before the light got in, before the air found passage, before the room could hold the full and complicated message of a life that isn't finished and isn't fully started, just ongoing, just continuing, just open-hearted. But the window stays open anyway. The air comes through regardless of the day that followed. The room can hold them both then and now, without the oath of loyalty to either one completely. Open windows in the morning, choosing open windows, nothing left worth losing that I haven't already found a way to carry. Open windows, everything felt necessary, even the hard parts, even the long winter, even the thing that found me like a splinter, working through the surface slowly over months. Open windows are the ones that count, the ones that let both grief and growing in. Leave the window open, let the morning in regardless. Let the birdsong find the corner where you kept the hardest version of the year, the one you didn't show anyone. The window in the morning, I'm not asking what you've done, they're only asking, are you here, are you present? Is the room available for something new, something pleasant, entering through the gap between what was and what is forming. Open windows in the morning, choosing open windows, nothing left worth losing that I haven't already found a way to carry. Open windows, everything felt necessary, even the hard parts, even the long winter, even the thing that found me like a splinter, working through the surface slowly over months. Open windows are the ones that count, the ones that let both grief and growing in. The curtain moves, the morning enters, the room adjusts, the room remembers how to hold both the old and new. Open windows, always letting through. September of a hard year, carrying 2 suitcases and an address in the unclear. Since that whatever I've been building in the previous location had run its natural course and needed its own cessation. The new city didn't care about my history or my reasons. It received me like it receives everyone through the seasons of arrival and adjustment, and the gradual belonging of a person to a place through the persistent longing to feel at home in the skin of the decision. Everything around me changed completely, but the part that needed changing stayed discreetly inside me, waiting for a different method, something the geography couldn't edit. What changes when you move is the view from the window. What stays is the voice in the back of your mind. Oh, what changes is the route you take to anywhere familiar. What stays is the version of yourself that keeps getting clearer every time you try to leave it in the previous city. What changes and what stays is both the wonder and the pity of being someone who keeps moving toward the better. What changes and what stays is every unsent letter. By December, the new city had become the ordinary. The route to the coffee shop, the park, to January cold that felt the same as every January prior. The body adapting with its usual desire for the predictable and the repeated and the known. The city that it felt so full of promise had been sewn into the fabric of the daily and the routine. I was still myself inside a different scene. Everything around me changed completely, but the part that needed changing stayed discreetly inside me, waiting for a different method, something the geography couldn't edit. What changes when you move is the view from the window. What stays is the voice in the back of your mind. Oh, what changes is the route you take to anywhere familiar. What stays is the version of yourself that keeps getting clearer every time you try to leave it in the previous city. What changes and what stays is both the wonder and the pity of being someone who keeps moving toward the better. What changes and what stays is every unsent letter. But here's the thing about the staying. The thing that traveled with me in the luggage was also the thing that kept on paying attention to the gap, the growing knowledge that the work was always inward. The city was the backdrop, the real change was quieter. The real change was the stop of running from the question into the arms of a new postcode. The real change was sitting still enough to finally decode the message I've been carrying through every move and every season. The message that the staying was the destination and the reason. What changes when you move is the view from the window. What stays is the voice in the back of your mind. Or what changes is the route you take to anywhere familiar. What stays is the version of yourself that keeps getting clearer every time you try to leave it in the previous city. What changes and what stays is both the wonder and the pity of being someone who keeps moving toward the better. What changes, what stays is every unsent letter. New city, same sky, new window, same why, new routes, same feet, new address, same heartbeat. It was never the enormous things that brought me down, never the catastrophe, the headline or the crown of obviously terrible events that everyone could see. It was always the accumulation of the small debris, of the overlooked, the minor and the unreported, the weight of small things quietly transported. without a name. The small things and their gathering, always the same. The small things stack without announcement. The small things build without pronouncement, until the weight of them becomes the only thing that's left to come. The weight of small things in the late October afternoon. The weight of an unanswered message, a song too soon. And it of the coffee gone cold before I reached it. The weight of every small thing I almost said and didn't. The accumulation of the minor and the passing. The weight of small things outlasting everything the larger griefs could never hold. The weight of small things, the story never told. A scratched record from a charity shop shelf, a bus that left before I reached the stop itself. The specific disappointment of a plan unmade. The way a friendship quietly begins to fade, not through argument or incident or breaking, but through the small and gradual forsaking of the regular exchange, the checking in. The weight of small things wearing themselves thin across the surface of the ordinary week. The small things stack without announcement. The small things build without pronouncement, until the weight of them becomes the only thing that's left to come. The weight of small things in the late October afternoon. The weight of an unanswered message, of a song too soon. And it of the coffee gone cold before I reached it. The weight of every small thing I almost said and didn't. The accumulation of the minor and the passing. The weight of small things outlasting everything the larger griefs could never hold. The weight of small things, the story never told. Name them one by one, give them their due weight. The overlooked exhaustion of arriving always late to the understanding of what has been wearing you. The small things and their patience working all the way through. The armor and the capable, the functional and fine. The weight of small things was always the design of something asking to be seen and set aside. The weight of small things just wanted to be acknowledged before it let you go. The weight of small things in the late October afternoon. The weight of an unanswered message, of a song too soon. And it of the coffee gone cold before I reached it. The weight of every small thing I almost said and didn't. The accumulation of the minor and the passing. The weight of small things outlasting everything the larger griefs could never hold. The weight of small things, the story never told. One small thing, then another. One small thing, then another. Named and placed and set aside. One small thing, one small thing. Lighter now, one small thing at a time.